you're always going somewhere. I'm going with you wherever you're going next, man. You're always going some rockin' place. What rockin' city are you traveling to next? And I was like, Spokane, Washington. And she was just like, you know what, man? I heard about on Frasier. I'm going with you. So she came with me to Spokane, Washington. I had 2 gigs. Like I was doing a gig at 7:30 and then another gig at like 9:30 or something like that. So we got to the hotel, and I'm not a like hotel snob at all. All I care about when it comes to a hotel room, because I see a lot of hotel rooms now, is the balcony, because that's me, where as a stoner, that's where I live, is on the balcony. So the room could be a like crack den with roaches everywhere and I will tiptoe over human piles of as long as the balcony is wide enough and secluded enough. I'm like, I don't give a I'll sleep on the balcony. So we checked in the hotel, great balcony. Like it was looking over a stream and foliage and it was really pretty and you could see the mountains. So I was like, I love this balcony. And she's like, when are you coming back? I was like, I got 2 shows, so I'll probably be back at like 11, 12. She's like, I might be sleeping. I was like, I'm so glad we traveled together. And so I went off to do my show. I was so excited because I was like, in weed legal Washington. I'm gonna get to do a show there. They're gonna let me smoke weed on stage while I do my show. That is not the case at all, man. They got all sorts of even more rigid laws and like that where you can't do that. So much so that like I was at the place between gigs, I told the management, I was like, hey man, so I got like an hour to kill between gigs. I'm gonna go in the green room and make it green, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, you're not, you animal. You do that outside. And I was like, liberal Washington. So I went outside to smoke, but there were people lined up for the next show. And I didn't want to be like a Walmart greeter at my own show where, you know, I'm like, hi, how are you? Welcome. Yes, it is me, you know. So I was like, I'll go back to the hotel. Hotel's close, it was like literally across the street. So I was like, I'll go back there. And I went back to the hotel room because I was like, I'll smoke on the balcony. But when I walked in the room, like my wife had set up shop, like in a big bad way. She had made the place her own. She was on the balcony. She had taken the mattress off the bed and moved it over a chair on the balcony to create this kind of chaise lounge affair. And she was laying on it like the Queen of Sheba reading a thick ass book. And she had this big ass goblet of wine in her hand. And the bottle looked empty. I gauged her to be about 4 glasses into Spokane at this point. Because she was saying stupid shit like, I could live here. I've been with a woman 20 years. I know she couldn't live there, man. So, you know, she said, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm between gigs, man. They wouldn't let me smoke at the club, so I came here to smoke on the balcony, man, and see you. And she goes, well, Jesus, I'm reading my book, Kevin. I don't want to get into a big conversation about your night. And I was like, I don't need to talk to you. I was like, I was just with like 200 people who paid me money to hear me talk. So that's cool. Like, we don't have to get into a conversation. She goes, I know you. After a show, you get home and you're Mr. Storytime and you got to tell all your stories. I was like, I have no stories to tell, man. I was like, tell you what, you sit there and drink and read your book and I'll stand over here and smoke my weed and we'll be together alone, you know? Because that's what marriage is. Go, you know? So I just sat there smoking and she was reading her book. And the problem is when I smoke, that's when I get chatty. So, so I was standing there, I was like, did I tell you what happened to me the last time I was on a balcony smoking weed? And she slams the book closed. She goes, I knew it's story time.